Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Rainbow Rising. Happy 2023. I hope your most exquisite and extravagant dreams come true. And I hope you believe in yourself, because that's the only thing that's stopping us. During Christmas time, I've been feeling that we're supposed to unwrap our gifts. It's the gifts within. It's something that's always been there. It's usually something that we've been leaning towards in our childhood, and then maybe we've been told that this is not practical, this is not going to make us a living. Go back to that. Go back to that passion. Because this is the answer, that's the key. It can heal you, it can bring back the joy of life, it can help you get up in the morning, it can help you feel alive. That childhood passion, what you've always naturally did as a child, what was in alignment with your soul, what was it? Usually the answer is very simple and you don't even have to think about it. It's been blocked, it's okay, but you can reawaken it. So there's time of renewal now. It is a new year, but it is also a year of returning to what we denied, to what we've pushed away because we wanted to belong. We wanted to fit into perception of ourselves, of others' perception of ourselves. And we are unshackled now. We are free from these mental cages, and we have another chance to live our life, our days authentically, okay? And there is no need to compare yourself to anyone else. And the time is now to put your dreams into action. I saw a fire under the bridge today. I've been thinking for a while, what does it mean symbolically? Bridge is a connection, is a union, but when there is fire under it, it can either mean that something's really urgent, or there's a very, very passionate union, passionate connection that's coming into your life. Something that will keep you alive, that will ignite that fire. That fire that may be a wrong path, a wrong box we put ourselves into. Is there even a right box? Well, a box is always a box. So we don't want to be in a box. Do you want to be in the box? Rose Garden. There's innocence, forgiveness, and the need, oh, thank you, Spirit. There's the need to be gentle with yourself. There is the need to reconnect with yourself. There's a lady here, she puts her hand on her chest and she listens to herself. To forgive someone is easier than forgiving yourself. You are never late with anything. And the time is always now. And the moment you let go of self-judgment, you forgive yourself, you will propel forward with your destiny, with your destination. You will shoot that arrow in the right direction. You've always known the direction. Maybe like me, you've been blocking it. It's time to dissolve. It's time to be unshackled. The sun, joy, enjoyment, life force, vitality, play. It's important to, instead of thinking what we're supposed to do, feel the joy of it and walk with that. What really sparks your joy, what really excites you. There is the motherhood theme that I feel it's really important. It's about mothering yourself. It's about reconnecting with your mother and your mother with her mother, and uniting with compassion and forgiveness, knowing that the limitation that our mothers had and their mothers and their mothers, they often didn't have the tools to break free. You know, they didn't know maybe how to work on themselves. So, lineage of the rose. It's important to gather. It's important to, as uncomfortable as and weird it might feel in the beginning, it's important to be together, to reconnect, to spend time with other people, even if it's just to listen to them. Moved by the goddess. There is a goddess in each and every one of us, and it's important to connect with the aspects of goddesses in other people, because this will help you ignite the goddess within. So it's very important to gather, to get off social media, and not spend that much time in front of the screen anymore, or by yourself in the woods somewhere. It's important to sit by the fire and actually talk. Mother Rose, returning to each other, compassion, humanity, the importance of connectedness, the importance of feeling nurtured by others and being the nurturer back to them. I feel like all humanity reunite, reconnect, hold hands, turn not away from one another, turn back towards one another, see and acknowledge. I've been feeling the importance of really like subtle body language signals, like when we gather in a group, there's more than 2 people, and we want to convey a message. I feel like it's really important to acknowledge everyone, not just look at one person from the group and talk to them ignoring others. Like, it's important that everyone feels part of it. Breaking free through forgiveness. I feel again, break free through forgiveness. Restarting that compassion for those who have hurt us. Healing the mother line. Growing up. I feel like we are all sisters. We are all, maybe at some point, if you accept this concept of different lifetimes, many lifetimes, maybe we've all been mothers and daughters, and at this point it's really important to have compassion for all these roles. Have compassion for the perspective of the mother, the perspective of the daughter, the demands, expectations. These are very different needs, very different expectations, very different roles to play. Very challenging, and it's important to embrace it with compassion at this point. Bravely step forward. Bravely step forward. Just take your gift and shine it, shine it. Give it, offer it, and don't look how it's going to be judged and received. Just know that you are here to give it, to show it, to be authentic, the child within, tenderness, gentleness, inner mother. How interesting is that? When you nurture the child within, there's also an inner mother. Wow, so we have an inner child, we have inner mother, and it's important that we step outside and see it from a neutral perspective, shower it with forgiveness, with compassion for these human roles that we play here. Inner mother, being your own mother, tending to your needs, very important. Patience, having patience with yourself. The bud potential promise, it's about to happen. Keep going. There's a miracle at your door. It's almost like a ripe fruit is just hanging right there. It's almost ready to be picked. So you're almost there. Just keep going. Just keep believing in yourself. Just find that strength within. The strength of a tree. Reconnect with trees. The Holy Grail. This is almost the end of the marathon. Stop endless searching. Inner quest. The journey outside is the reflection of the journey within. Sometimes we feel, oh, I've always had that. I've always been that. I've always known that. It's just I didn't see it this way. Perspective changes everything. The fertile void. Fertile void. Maybe we've been in a fertile void. Maybe that was like part of being a bud and being that caterpillar, and actually knowing things but not really knowing that we know it. So a lot of patience with yourself. Animals can teach us patience, reconnecting with animals, going back to play. Attunement, calling all our particles, calling them back in, sealing them beautifully into one whole being. All the parts come back in. Wisdom is also, the thorn says, wisdom to set healthy boundaries. Clearly communicate your needs, clearly communicate, be assertive. Don't expect people to read your mind, but express yourself politely. The Great Mother. Surrender to the mystery, fall into her arms. The fish is never thirsty in the water. The fish is never thirsty in the water. Surrender to the mystery, fall into her arms, is this level of safety in the world that no matter where we're called to go and no matter what change we go through, we know we are being held by the Mother. Healing is happening. You're not broken. Of course you're not broken. Trust the process. It's safe to soften. No one's broken. You're perfect in the moment. Even if there's things that we need to heal, there's beauty in that. And like the t-shirt I saw today said, God makes no mistakes. Trust in that. Sacred waters, replenishment, health, rest. There's no need to push that hard. It's great to be disciplined, but remember not to drive yourself crazy. And if you have to, just stop, take a deep breath, and realize that you don't have to allow anyone to trigger you, or any situation or anything. You're in charge of how you feel. I decide to be happy. I decide not to rush. I choose to breathe. The grandmothers. Remember your roots, perspective, trust the weavings. Wisdom of many generations. Even if sometimes there's things that we can't relate to in other generations, there's always something very precious that we can benefit from, that we can apply. So focus on that. Just concentrate on the gem, on that one beautiful thing that you hear, that you know in that person, in that conversation, in that gathering, and keep it close to your heart. Just drop the rest. Drop it. You don't have to dislike something. You can just choose not to take it in. And I say the same thing to myself. Just drop it. Pick the gem and drop the rest. Pick the gem and drop the rest. The wild rose. Do it your way. Embrace your uniqueness. Untamed. Wild rose. Even if you do a certain job, you're in a profession that many people are in as well, you bring your unique essence to this. So never back down. Be you and keep going. Don't be discouraged by the so-called competition, which doesn't exist. Not in my understanding of things. Past year was like a course in miracles. There was this there were many opportunities, maybe challenges, to see, okay, let's see if I can get through that by setting an intention, by asking, by talking to the universe. Will it really work? I don't have to tell anyone, right? I don't have to admit it. It's like a course, like training in creating miracles. And this year, it will go much faster and much smoother, because we already have established that trust. We have built trust. Trust that we can co-create miracles, because we are part of this beautiful existence that is a miracle. You are a miracle. And you are the Holy Grail, and you are what you've been on the quest for. You are what you've been searching for. And you are the one you've been waiting for. And that realization is a beautiful, complete circle. And that realization is priceless. And it's a crown. It feels like the crowning. And sitting in the throne of your own existence. Knowing that you're here to create with your gifts, to create yourself, create your life, and dream by example. You don't even have to convince anyone to what you believe in. You can just live your life in the way that will be so astounding, astonishing, that people will want to discover that gift within themselves too. Speak to you soon.